power of innovative thinking. And we're delighted to have Grant Vernon and his team join us from the Innovation Network. And once again, we'll be sharing his expertise, this time around effective online ideation and brainstorming techniques. Also, we've got a bit of a panel discussion for you afterwards, and Emma Cowan from Innovate UK and Sheila Walker from Direct Line Group are going to be our panelists, along with Grant and the team, to answer any questions you may have. So I think, Emma, maybe you could just introduce yourself for a second.
Hi there, my name's Emma Cowan. I'm based in the Northwest, but I work for Innovate UK, which is a UK government innovation agency. I work in particular in something called Audience the Future, which is the funding projects in the creative immersive sector. So everything from AI to VR to mixed reality and haptics. So I work with those projects across the country, making sure that they deliver on the objectives that they've been funded to do.
Fantastic. And Sheila?
Hi folks, I'm Sheila Walker. I work for Direct Line Group and I'm lead on our innovation platform. We have a business-wide innovation platform where we crowdsource thinking, future, anything from any kind of future ways of working within the business. So we have been doing that for about 5 years now with great success. Yeah.
Thank you. So, sorry, Grant, I think I probably stole your thunder and made you jump through your slides, but I will now properly hand over to you, and thank you for delivering another session.
We're innovative, Zena, so we pivoted. Yeah. All right, so welcome everybody. Effective online ideation and brainstorming techniques is today's topic. It's especially effective because I thought it was a different topic today, and then this morning I was like, let me just double check. So we pivoted, but we've got something fun for you today. That's how agile we are, and you're going to love it. A little bit about the Innovation Network, co-founded with my best Dutch friend, Rodi Fonk. I only have the one Dutch friend. And we've tried to build a worldwide network of innovation training consultants and experts. We do training, coaching, consultancy, and our real focus is to help people embed innovation skills in their business. And we have a lot of fun doing it. I'm joined by our guest panelists. Thanks for introducing yourselves. It's really great to have you with us. I wondered if it was a sign, 3 men, 3 women, bringing a balance to ideation. So it could be, use it, don't use it. My specialty is innovation training. I was an accountant in a past life, so if you want to know anything about innovation accounting, I can look back and know something about that. And I'm joined by my colleagues Connor and Chad. Chad, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell everybody a quick 30 seconds or less.
Hi, I'm Chad Smith. I've worked with Grant for just over 10 years now. I've been involved with innovation, entrepreneurship, and a whole lot of LinkedIn marketing for Grant, building up his database.
It can't be 10 years because you have no grey hair from working with me, so that can't be true. Yeah, you are. Okay. Connor?
Yeah, hi, I'm Connor. I'm the digital specialist here at Innovation Network. I hail from Wales, and I'm super hooked on innovation, so excited to be here.
Brilliant, and welcome to you all. Thanks so much for joining us. We're recording today's session, so we will share the slides directly afterwards. We'll share the recording link, and we've got some cool things to show you and give you today. So the topic is online ideation and brainstorming techniques. And what I just wanted to ask you, before we get going, if I can ask you just to mute, but any questions you've got, please drop it into the chat, for Chad at any time, and we will do live Q&A at the end. Into the chat, if you haven't already, can I ask you to drop in your name, company, or country? We'd love to see who else is here. And if you've done any online innovation, could you drop the platform that you're using into the chat? So anyone doing anything with online collaboration at the moment in innovation? So Miro, Mural, Sprintbase, anyone doing anything like that yet? Can you drop it into the chat if you are? So that would be cool to see. And we are going to show you how to do really efficient ideation online, completely virtual, with a platform that we've fallen in love with called Miro. There's lots of different online collaboration platforms. If you wanted to find out about some of the others, please do view last month's webinar where we went through some of the tools out there. Sam, HSBC, Wazoku. Yeah, Sam, we love the guys from Wazoku. Super platform. So that's a nice one. Tim from Nuclear Laboratory UK, you're due to start using Mural. So Tim, we might try and convert you to Miro, but we also do love Mural. So that's pretty similar. We'll show you about that. And then as part of BT, Emma used Bright's idea in NYC. So very cool. We fall in love with Miro. So it's a free online collaboration platform. We have made you each a free ideation workspace if you want one after the session. So everything we show you here, you're going to be able to log on and test it out. Martin from Chugai Pharma, Microsoft Teams whiteboard. So Martin, the whiteboard from Microsoft Teams is really cool, but we've got a whole new world of post-it notes and all sorts of cool things you could add to that. Chris from Wales, nice to see you again, Chris. Thanks for coming again. Microsoft products, yeah, nice to see you. So the Microsoft products are pretty cool, and Miro can embed except for the Internet Explorer crash, but we'll tell you a bit more about that. All right, I wanted to ask you what challenges you have trying to run ideation or brainstorming in your organizations before. So into the chat, would you mind dropping in some of the challenges you've faced running live or online ideation and brainstorming sessions previously? I just want to have a look at some of the pain points that you have so we can tailor today's session. So what are some of the challenges you have in the past trying to run an ideation or a brainstorm session? Chad, you okay to call out as we go?
All good.
Great. So tell us about some of the challenges you've had trying to run a brainstorm or an ideation session in the past. It was probably face-to-face. It was unlikely that you did this remotely, pre-COVID. But tell us about some of the challenges you've had in the past trying to run an ideation or brainstorming session, and we'll tailor today's session to that.
Organizational restrictions on platforms.
Yeah.
Group dynamics, getting people to contribute. Also have limited IT online tools available to us. Teams don't allow breakout rooms. Getting beyond things that haven't worked in the past, contribution.
Yeah, that's a nice one. So one of the nice things we like about Miro is you can create a guest access so people can come and collaborate on your board, and there's no registration. So we found with customers that have got pretty tight security, only use Microsoft products, they're able to access Miro in a guest function. With a private account, they can view, and with, I think it's £5 a month, a paid account, they can edit and collaborate like we're going to show you on screen. Zena's got a good one, concern of the confidentiality of Jam boards. I think any platform like this, you should assume that it's unsecure. I guess nothing's guaranteed in these type of situations. So security would be a good one, actually, Zena. We should do a separate session on that. Ideation, online, and security. So that would be a good one. What else, Chad? Any other challenges there?
Getting expert evaluations done and ownership of idea development.
Yeah, okay, those are really great. So I suspect that if you've run an ideation or brainstorm before, you might have had one or two people dominating the conversation. You perhaps started a brainstorm and got fixated on one idea and perhaps started debating and arguing around that idea. That sound familiar? Those are the typical challenges that we find people facing is people are sometimes shy to contribute. So if there's a senior leader in the room, perhaps they're shy to contribute. Perhaps one person dominates the conversation, and perhaps there's one person that's really, really passionate about their idea, and they keep bringing you back to that one idea. So what we wanted to give you is a technique to very quickly, very effectively, and very democratically get as many ideas as possible from a group onto a page, group and prioritize them, and then talk about how we implement them very quickly. And the whole nice one, no budget. We'll talk about that. So one of the brainstorming topics is going to address that. So that's an awesome one. We'll come back to that. So nice contribution there. So what we're going to do is live and online with you. We're going to choose a problem. We're going to turn that problem into a how might we question. So we're going to do this all together. So I just wanted to talk you through the slides very quickly, and then we're going to do it live on our Miro boards together. So we always say, whatever problem you want to brainstorm around, we want to turn that into a how might we question. how might we question takes a problem or a pain and turns it into something lighter, an experiment. So let's say our challenge is to how to find new revenue streams. We might say, how might we experiment to find new revenue streams? So can you see how it changes the energy of that problem to a how might we? So the very first step of ideation is taking that pain point, whatever yours might be, and turning it into a how might we question and making that visible for the whole team. And we're going to do that on our board. It makes the problem lighter. It turns the problem around. It says, we don't know if we can solve this challenge, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to experiment and see if we can find some ways to solve it. We then do something called silent brainstorming. Now, silent brainstorming could be face-to-face or online. So you'll need a stack of Post-it notes each, and you want to individually, silently generate as many ideas as possible. So this could be in a room with a stack of Post-it notes each, or it could be on a Miro board, and we're going to demonstrate that process for you. So we'll set a timer, normally 3 minutes, and with that how might we question in front of us, we are going to individually brainstorm as many ideas as possible. And we call that technique a silent brainstorm. So it's one idea per Post-it, and that Post-it wording should be enough words that someone could read the Post-it and understand what you meant without asking any questions. So this is a technique from the Google Venture Sprint, where you want people to be able to collaborate individually with as little discussion and debate as possible. So we want to get a large volume of ideas very quickly with as little debate discussion as possible. So a silent brainstorm lets you individually get as many ideas out of your head in 3 minutes or less onto a screen or onto a board. One idea per sticky note, and that time limit is really, really important. So it could be a design thinking time timer or simply a timer on your mobile phone, but there's got to be a time limit. And we say no idea killers. So no debates, no discussion. We just want to get as many ideas out as possible. I'm going to show you a couple of techniques to do that, to generate lots and lots of ideas. So we're going to do things like force to fit, trying to put together concepts that don't match, picking a random word. So someone can literally call out a word and we'll brainstorm around that. Constraints is one of my favorites. So how might we solve your challenge or problem with a constraint? My favorites are no time, no money, or no tech. So if we were to solve this problem, how might we solve it with no time, no money, medium, low, or no tech? And the last one, which I think is Chad's favorite, is the hero. So we'll do a brainstorm where we'll pick some heroes and we'll think, how would this hero solve that challenge? And I'm going to talk you through all of these techniques live, and we're going to do it together on a Miro board. Once we've generated a large volume of ideas, we're going to group them if there's some common themes, and then we're going to do some voting. Voting is a really effective process to pick the ideas that have got the most potential with no debate, no discussion. So we use sticky dots. So if we're face-to-face with a customer, it's literally little stickers and people vote. We normally say 3 or 6 stickers each, and you vote for your ideas. Miro's got a voting function, and so does Miro. And we also do stickers online, which is what we're going to do today. That voting process will allow us to pick the 5 or 10 ideas that we think have got the most potential, and then we rate them. And we use this matrix. There's lots of different ones, but this is our favorite. So we'll take our 5 ideas with the most votes, and we'll take a look at where do they fit. Is that something that we could do now? So it's an easy idea, and it's really feasible to do. We could implement it tomorrow. Is it something new, so it's feasible, but it's pretty original, so that's a wow factor? Or it might be really, really original, but not easy to do, and we call that a how, so something for tomorrow, something for the future, and then we normally do something that's not feasible yet in a parking lot, because it's quite good to come back to these, and you might find that 3 to 6 months later, suddenly something does become feasible. So we use a matrix like this to capture all of our ideas. There's lots of others that we'll share with you, but this is our favorite one. So in 60 minutes or less, with a team, with almost no discussion, debate, interaction, we're going to get a whole volume of ideas onto a page. We're going to prioritize them. We're going to pick the ones we think have got the most potential, and we'll get them onto a matrix to see what can we implement tomorrow? What could we implement really quickly? And what are the ideas that we might come back to? They've got potential, but we couldn't start with them tomorrow. So Chad, give me a thumbs up if you can see my Miro board there. Yeah, so this is our Miro board, and if you want one, we'll give you an email address. We can set you up with your own free Miro board for ideation. Miro is a superb online collaboration tool. It starts off free. There's all kinds of templates and things that you can insert. And very quickly, what it allows you to do is to create a virtual workspace. So if you take a look here, you can zoom in, you can put in templates, post-it notes, comments, voting, all sorts of stuff. And for 3 boards or less, your account is free. So for online collaboration, we've fallen in love with Miro. We have used Mural, Sprintbase, and some of the others we mentioned last month. But this is the one that we've fallen in love with for a variety of reasons. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a problem and we're going to ideate live with you today. And then if you're interested, you can literally take this and go and use it with your team. We'll make you your own board on Miro. All right, so what I'm going to ask you to do is to put some problems into the chat. So pick a problem that we could look at today and drop it into the chat. Give me some of your challenges. Please don't mention mother-in-laws. It's got to be a fairly work-related challenge. And drop it into the chat. And we're going to pick one to start with. And we're going to ideate around a challenge live and online with you today and show you how easy it is to do. So we're going to, in probably 20 minutes or less, we're going to ideate and come up with some solutions and rate them. Give me some problems. Come on, come on. It's COVID-19. I'm sure we've got lots of business challenges. John,
money.
Yeah. I think that might be a good one. How to find new revenue sources. Reduce the number of accidents at work. Victor, that's a good one. Give me a couple more and we'll pick one. How do we capture leads better is a good one. Yeah. Okay, let's see a couple more. How to scope an idea in an agile way. Yeah, that's a good one to brainstorm. How do we keep remote workers motivated? Boom. Okay, Emma, you're a winner today. Nihal, don't mention that one. That's a very sensitive topic after me and COVID-19. So that's a separate webinar. All right. Emma, I like that one. How can we keep remote workers motivated? I think all of us can identify with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this card and I'm going to say, how might we keep our remote workers motivated? You spelled correctly, guys. Okay. So the first step is I've taken that challenge. How do we keep our remote workers motivated? And I've turned it into how might we. So how might we keep our remote workers, should we say, more motivated? So I've taken our challenge and I've turned it into how might we. A little experiment that we're going to ideate and brainstorm on now. So you see what I did there? Took a problem, swapped it around into how might we, and we're going to start off with a silent brainstorm. So Connor, are you ready? Let's get flexed up. We're going to drop onto a board. Connor is going to do something called bulk dump in Miro, which is very cool. So in Miro, instead of individual sticky notes, you'll see on my screen, we've got a whole lot of individual sticky notes. There's the ability to drop a whole lot of them together in something called bulk mode, which is really lovely for silent brainstorming. So I can pick a color, I can then come back here and pick bulk mode, and it allows me to drop down as many ideas as possible. So I can do idea 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can create a whole lot of ideas, and then I can drop them onto my board very, very quickly. So what we've actually built for you, if you want it, is a free Miro training course, which we'll share with you at the end of the program. So if you've never used an online collaboration platform, Connor's built you one. It's called the Tuskfish Challenge, and our innovation logo for our business is Percy the Tuskfish, one of the 5 most innovative animals in the world, according to the Blue Planet. And he's the only fish to use tools, I'm told. So we've made a course for you on how to use Miro, which we'll share with you at the end. And then Connor, can I get rid of these Can I get rid of these post-it notes, or do you want to get rid
Yeah,
of
of course. Yep.
Storming? All right, so we're going to start off with a silent brainstorm. Remember, we're going to have a timer. So at the bottom of my screen, you'll see a timer set, and we want to see how many ideas we can come up with in 3 minutes or less. So our problem statement is really visible here. How might we keep our remote workers more motivated? And I'm going to ask you, Chad, can you let Beth in? How might we keep our remote workers more motivated? And in 3 minutes or less, we're going to ideate as many ideas as we can, or rather, you are going to ideate as many ideas as we can. All right, start your creativity engines. I'm going to start the clock. Chad, if you call them out, Connor's going to capture them onto the board. And I'm going to ask you, webinar attendees, for ideas to keep remote workers motivated. As many as you can, 3 minutes or less, and go. Chad's calling, Connor's typing, and we're going to come up with as many ideas as we can. How might we keep our remote workers more motivated? Let's see how many we can get in 3 minutes or less. Go, go, go.
Are we adding these into chat?
Yes, please. Yeah, into the chat.
Rapid feedback on what they're doing.
Okay, so rapid feedback, Connor, yeah.
Take advice from those who have worked remotely before.
Okay, advice from remote workers, good.
Amend bonus scheme if applicable.
Okay, bonus scheme, good. Now, Connor, give us a yay or a nay when you're ready for the next ones. Okay.
Regular meetings with colleagues, non-work related.
Okay.
Many meetings with aims.
Okay, our volume of ideas to typing is very high. This is good. Keep them coming, keep them coming.
Sending personalized thank you messages or cards.
Nice. Keep going, yeah.
Arrange social meetings for teams, workplace colleagues.
Nice, Scorpio, nice, Bieber, nice one.
Make sure we speak to them regularly. Informal remote coffee shops.
Okay, keep them coming, keep them coming.
Keep in touch all levels. Flexibility around working times. Themed meetings.
All right. Time's up. Chad,
I couldn't even get through half of them.
No, I'm going to ask you to, Chad, if you can mute, hop onto WhatsApp, and you and Connor keep capturing all of these. I'm going to carry on with you explaining why you do that. I'm super. Chris, no cheating. Time's up. No, I'm just joking. I want to quickly, while Connor and Chad capture all those, just go back and see how many ideas we generated in 3 minutes. Let's have a look. Okay, right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 55 ideas in 3 minutes. Now, how cool is that, right? Can you see the power of silent brainstorming? Connor's going to have carpal tunnel syndrome. I hope, have we paid our insurance contributions, Chair? Oh yeah, so you can save the chat and copy and paste, but I'll leave that to my digital ninjas. But good point. So how cool is that? In 3 minutes, we generated 50 plus ideas. We did it silently on our own, and we just dumped onto the board. So if you were in a physical room, you could do this on Post-it notes, and everybody could at the end pop them up on a wall or on a canvas, or remotely we could do this onto a Miro board. So the key things are a deadline, a timer, no discussion, no debate, individually, one idea per Post-it note, as many as possible onto a board. And Connor's going to get those down. I wanted to, while Connor and Chad are busy with that, just show you some of the other techniques that we're going to use. And we're going to pick 1 or 2 more techniques to try out. So all of this is on your board. We can do the negative brainstorm, so if we were doing the negative brainstorm, we might say, how might we help our remote workers to collaborate less or be less motivated? So it's quite cool. It sounds silly, but it can be really effective. You take the idea and you swap it around. So how might we help our remote workers be less motivated? We could do random words. So we could pick any word, put it together with motivation remotely, and come up with some ideas. We could say, how might I help my remote workers be more motivated without spending any time, any money? Or I could say the hero one, which is, if I was a hero, how might I help people be more motivated online? All right, so let's have a think. Cool. Connor, Chad, I want you to just dump everything you have onto the board. Don't worry if you haven't got them all, and we're going to go on to the next one. Right, let's have a think. Which one am I going to choose? I am going to choose the hero. Zena, Sheila, and Emma, drop into the chat some heroes of yours in terms of business, productivity, motivation. Give us some people, some heroes there. So Zena, Sheila, Emma, give us some motivational characters there. So who's amazing at motivating people? I like that, Xena Warrior Princess. Yes. Who else is a super? How would Oprah do it? Who else? Simon Sinek. That's a good one. Yeah. Oh yeah, Barack Obama. Good one. Tony Robbins. I did think about Tony. Yeah. All right, perfect. So we should actually just pick one, but I'm going to pick a couple, and we're going to do another brainstorming session. Chad, Connor, are you ready for us? Number up. I like that. Let's pick Tony Robbins and Stephen Covey. So 3 minutes. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Deceptive People, Effective People. And Tony Robbins, how would they motivate your remote workers? So 3 minutes or less. What would Tony Robbins, Stephen Covey, Xena Warrior Princess, Simon Sinek, Barack Obama do? And I want you to think of some more ideas and drop them into the chat. And 3 minutes starts now. So keep your hero in mind.
Listen.
Yeah, good. How would your hero, pick one of those and think, how would your hero keep online remote workers motivated? Xena Warrior Princess would use adventure, Connor. Take them on an adventure, a quest. See how effective that is? Give us some more. So pick one of those here. Oh, yeah, Sarah.
Motivational speeches. Nice.
Don't forget my quest.
Think differently.
Sheila, tell us who that was. This must be Tony. Nihal. Write your goals and actions towards results. It could be Stephen Covey.
Competitions. That's a nice one, yeah.
Dream big goals, yeah. Covey, calm, measured conversation. Yeah, good. Sorry, Chad, I'm stealing the thunder away. I'll shut up. Good. Give us a few more. What would Barack Obama do to motivate his...
Allow you to innovate in your own way. In your own working day.
So what would Barack Obama do? What would Xenia Warrior Princess do? What would Tony
Begin
Robbins
with the end in mind.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Create a vision.
Ah, very good. So what would Tony Robbins do? What would Stephen Covey do?
Give them the reason why we are in business.
Yeah.
Understand your why. Why are they important? Allow flexibility in your workday.
All right, keep them coming. What would Michelle Obama do? Come on, what would Tony Robbins do to motivate people remotely, remote teams?
Medieval, a day offline. Very nice. Remote work. Yes, we can.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Tune into individual motivations.
Awesome.
Support your focus and prioritize to avoid burnout.
Brilliant. Come on, we got 30 seconds. Michelle
Find
Obama.
the good in everything that happens in your life.
Yeah.
Give people half a day to do something fun and share.
Oh, that's a goodie.
Circles of control. Don't worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, good one, good one. All right, time's up, time's up. Chad, if you can do the same thing, you and Connor capture as many as you can, pop them onto the board. I just want to go and count how many we've got. Let's just head up here. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Another 28 ideas, so almost 80 ideas. Chad, can you let Chris in? He's stuck at the Beth's. Can you let Beth in? Oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah, how good is that? Almost 80 ideas in 10 minutes. Amazing, right? We don't have time, I think, to do any more, but let me just recap the other techniques. And what I would recommend is you don't need to do all of them. If I was running this session for your teams, I would start off with a silent brainstorm, see how many ideas you could generate. And then I would pick perhaps 1 or 2 of these and use them. But you could very effectively generate up to 200 ideas pretty easily. So while the guys are capturing a negative brainstorm, so the opposite of your how might we. So how might we demotivate our remote workers could be one. Random words we could use. There's a random word generator here you could use. How might we motivate our online workers with no time, no budget, no tech? How might I use a hero? So how would Steve Jobs do this? How would Oprah Winfrey do this? And again, you don't need to use all of them. You probably just want to use 1 or 2, and you should be able to generate upwards of 200 ideas with a team of 5 or 6. Very, very cool. Again, remember the key things. The timer is really important, so we need very strict timing, no discussion, no debate. We're just generating a huge volume of ideas, getting them onto a board. The next step that we would do, but I'm not going to do today, is to group them together. So if you saw some that are quite similar, you could start to group them together and create some themes before you do the voting, but we're going to go straight into voting after this. So Connor, Chad, I want you to dump down onto the board as many things as you have. Doesn't matter how many. Yeah, nicely done. Line them up. And then I'm going to ask Zena, Sheila, and Emma to vote. So the voting process is really effective. And what it does is it lets the team choose the ideas that they think have the most potential. And again, a very quick, effective way with no debate, no discussion. All right. So Connor, are you okay to move the votes around? Zena, Sheila, and Emma, can I ask you just to unmute and tell Connor your 3 favorite ideas. So out of all of those ideas, I don't know if you can see them on screen, pick your 3 favorites. So who's ready to go first? And we'll just do some voting very quickly on screen.
So shall I go? It's Zena. I'm going to go with remote coffee shops.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, where's that?
Top left. Yeah, finding it's the other tricky one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with tune into individuals, which is the 3rd blue line down, one from the end.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to reorder these. So remote coffee shops. Yep, that. And then we'll see if on Zena.
Tune into individuals.
And where would that be? Sorry.
3rd blue line down, the right-hand side.
Okay.
Okay, so right down to blue. Blue post-its. I can do you got it? Cool. So everyone can do this themselves very easily. Okay, last one, Zena.
And allow flexibility in the workday.
And that same line, Connor, on the left-hand side. Okay, Emma, you ready?
Yeah, mine was virtual, the remote coffee shops.
Okay.
It was flexibility in the working day and mini teams.
You copycat.
It was like, damn.
Which one is that, Connor? Have you got that one, the 3rd vote?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, and Sheila, you want to cast your preference?
Yeah, I am going to. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, got you.
Good stuff. I am going to go again for the flexibility in the working day. I'm going to be a wee bit different and think really importantly to keep people engaged is providing the right equipment.
You have to tell Connor which line that is.
1, 2, 3.
That's okay, I got it.
You got it. Okay, good. He's
4
good.
down, 3 in from the left. Yep.
Good.
And probably I think keeping in touch, absolutely keeping in touch. So keeping in touch at all levels. You can have any one of very many there, but I think keeping in touch at all levels.
There we go.
So what we've done there is we've very quickly generated 80 odd ideas. As a team, we've prioritized the ones that we think would create the most value. And now we can take those ideas across to the next board and have a look at what we could implement immediately and what might take some work, but of those ideas and which have got the most value. So Connor, if you can stick them on the left in order of maybe make us a pyramid with the idea with the most votes at the top and then spread them out. So can you see what we've done there? We just brought them across the screen and now we're going to have a look at how might we implement. All right, so first one is flexibility. Zena, Sheila, Emma, tell me what you think of that idea in terms of how original it is and how feasible it is. So is that a common idea or original, and is it feasible and easy to do? Give me an idea, give me some comments there.
I think it's fairly easy to do.
Yeah, so it's
I would say it's a no.
Yeah.
Although it depends what company you work for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So,
for me, it's fine.
Yeah,
that's
so
true.
let's put it up here, right? Because depending on where you are, it's definitely something you could do now, and we could feasibility put it perhaps over there. Okay, remote coffee shops. Let's take that one over here. Is that a common, original, and feasible or not yet feasible? Where do you think we should put that?
I think it's a now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to put it as a little bit more wow, because for me, what do you think? It's a little bit more, not interesting, but a little bit more out there than flexibility in a workday. So it's slightly more original, but I'd say pretty feasible, right? So a little bit of technical organization.
Yeah, it would be easily set up and rolled out, I think. I don't think it would give any massive technical issues. I think it definitely would give people that a little bit more imagination, I think, and that's what a lot of people are missing, is that normal social non-work-based social interactions they have with colleagues.
Yeah, brilliant. Let's talk about tune into individuals. Is that a how, a wow, or a now? What do you guys think?
Absolutely a now.
Yeah, tell us, Sheila, what do you interpret that as? What does tune into individuals mean for you?
I think it's very much a case of perhaps getting to know people in a slightly different way, where you're getting to know them outside of their working environment slightly. So you have to know what makes people tick, particularly where they're working remotely, to make sure that you get that well-being for them and you keep the engagement levels going. So I would say that that's something that anybody has got the ability to do without any training, without having to look at risk, without being particularly innovative. I think it's something that would be a very easy one to do.
Yeah, so I'd say, should we say it's a now? And would we say it's easier than allow flexibility, or a little bit more hard to organize? What do we think?
I think it's probably a bit easier, because really what you're trying to do is assess the individual. If people live alone, then working from home is going to be a little bit more difficult for them, because they're going to be more isolated. If they've got family and friends around them, then working from home isn't. So I think that's something you could do fairly quickly, is assess what people's individual situation is.
Yes, if we assuming we all agree, Zina, I'll let you cast the final vote, but could we say that's pretty feasible? And would you say it's easier than flexibility in your workday, or more difficult?
I think it also depends on the managers and their level of competence, in the nicest possible way to, be able to tune into others' emotions. But I think it could be done now.
Absolutely. So if we were a large multinational, that might hover somewhere up there, like a little bit harder to get running. If we were a small organization, it would hover down there.
Yeah.
So let's pop that over there. Many teams, so small teams collaborating together, so you're not alone remotely. Where could we put that? Now, wow, or how? Zina, I'll let you call this one, because we're on time.
I think that's still a now, actually. I think it would be, again, dead easy to set up. We've got all of the online platforms that we can use, so I think that's a now.
Yeah, and would you say that's easier than individuals tuning in and flexibility?
Yeah, I would actually.
Yeah, so we could actually probably put that one over there. And the last one, keeping in touch at all levels. I'm going to say that one, I might put a little bit up here, because it's something nice to do, probably over here, maybe over there, because it's a nice to have, but to get all levels in touch might be a little bit more difficult. So all we've done there is we've taken the top 5 ideas out of 80. We've had a look at where they might fit in. And I think we would probably start with the nows. So could we do these things now? And with a little bit of work, could we turn these ideas that are wow and now into something pretty quick? So what I love about this process is, in, what have we done? 30 minutes, we generated 80 ideas, and we voted on which ones we thought had the most potential. And we've got a little action plan, and we would probably start with those 2 ideas in place next week and then grow it from there. How was that? Anyone want to drop anything into the chat in terms of questions? While I just set up the screen. So chat, any questions that come through, if you can call those up. Let me find the slides.
Any tips for managing this prioritization with a large group?
Yeah, that's a great one. So panel, do you mind if I start and then you guys jump in? So we get this question a lot. How might I use this process with a large group? And we've seen students do this with like 500 people. If I was doing this with a large group, I would do what we've done here, and possibly have breakout rooms in Zoom. In Teams, we normally just create separate meeting invites, and we make breakout rooms using different meeting invites. I would let people move into a breakout room. run through this process on their own with a facilitator, and then bring them all back into one main online meeting room and capture the best ideas. So that's how I would do this with a large group, is breakout rooms, Zoom or Teams are pretty easy to do. You then probably want no more than 20 in a breakout room. So if you've got 200 people, you need 10 rooms, which is easy enough to do. You run them through the process. So you could do it like we've done here, step by step, where you explain the step, send them into their rooms, and then bring them back as they go. Or you could have a facilitator to lead them through the process like we've done now. Prioritize and pick the best ideas, and then come back into the plenary room to see how you might implement those. Right, Pragya, that's a good one. Right now you've got support from Connor and Chad. What would you do differently if you only had one person facilitating the brainstorm? Pragya, that's a great question. If it's face-to-face, no issue, right? Because you've got your post-it notes and you're just facilitating in the room. I have done it, believe it or not, just by myself with a group. So if you have everybody in your brainstorm collaborating on Miro, then it's very easy to facilitate as one person. So if you can onboard your team onto a platform like Mural or Miro, and just get them confident, it's quite easy to lead a group of 20 to 30 yourself with one facilitator. If not, it's quite easy to perhaps pick some tech ninjas. If you've got some digital ninjas in your team, probably they're under 23, and train them up, then you can get some willing helpers to manipulate it in the background. So that's how I would do that one. Zena, really great question for groups over 10. I would always have a co-pilot. Zena, do you want to jump in and just, have you got any thoughts on those questions so far?
I mean, I think for the, it depends, I guess, how you want to use that brainstorming. I think for the brainstorming in terms of using everyone, it's absolutely brilliant. It could be for the prioritization, that you go away with a smaller group and then look to prioritize those different ideas. I guess the critical thing is once you've done your sticky dots that everyone can get involved in, that you then, when you're taking them into your matrix, you can maybe work with the team who are going to implement them, and maybe do it that way. So there's less people kind of getting involved in that. Where does each idea sit? But certainly for me, maybe being slightly IT illiterate, although learning, I've always found it really handy when I'm delivering training, just have a second person there to set up whiteboards and pull things in. It just helps you so much.
Absolutely, and we really want to challenge you guys to test this out. So we've built a Miro board, an ideation board for each of you if you'd like one, and we've made a course for you for Miro. So if you want to test this out, we'll give you an email address, fire us an email, we'll give you a training course to learn Miro in like 30 minutes or less, and then you can literally test this out with your team, just like we've done it here. So I really want you to see how quick and easy it is, and take it from a technocratin, right? The first time I ever saw Miro, I was totally lost. I was facilitating for a startup and they were all over the board doing these weird and wonderful things, and I'd never seen Miro before in my life, and my mind was blown. But over the course of a couple of months, I've really fallen in love with it. So we'd love you to just have a muck about with a Miro board and be prepared to be amazed and fall in love with it.
Grant, do you want to put your details up on the screen so people have got your email so they can email you directly and request that?
Let's pop that up. So if you want your very own Miro ideation space and a teachable course, fire us an email and we'll get that set up for you. Emma, she weigh in on those questions. Let's see. So I think managing ideation with a large group is probably a good question to start. Any thoughts on that?
Sorry, was that one for me? Because it missed the main name off.
Ah, sorry, Emma, yeah. Tips for ideation with large groups?
Yeah, I think my view would be is always have, it is good to have a wingman, definitely, because one, it creates more of a nice, engaging atmosphere for people, but also you've got that support. But I think if you are having to do it on your own, and you've got 10 or less is pretty manageable, I would say, but anything more than that, I think you do need to always have some kind of process in mind and some timings in mind to give people a clear view of how much time they've got to do each section, and then I think you'll probably keep control of the process. Otherwise, when people are in an innovative mood, they do tend to go a little bit off piste. So I think it's having good timings and a good process to follow, and then explain the process ahead of time. So what sections you're going to go through, so they're aware of what's coming up and what work needs to be done. I think you'll probably find it more manageable. But I would agree with Zena, it's great to have another person in the room to help you can control those timings and also create an atmosphere of innovation in general.
Yeah, brilliant. And then I just want to pick up on two before I hand over to Sheila. Helen had a question. If you're on Miro, can you see each other, or do you still need to be together in Zoom? Now, Helen, Miro has inbuilt video, audio, and text. So if we wanted to, we could have all jumped into a Miro board and collaborated on there. We found that Zoom was the easiest platform for people to use because most people know it and understand it. So how we run our sessions is audio and video in Zoom, which is really nice breakout rooms, and then the collaboration on the board. But it's absolutely possible to do all of this in Miro. Tim, you made a really good question. Can this be done as effectively on Miro? And the answer is absolutely yes. So Tim, these collaborative platforms are updating and changing daily. So I can give you an answer from sort of 3 months ago. That 3 months ago, absolutely yes. The reason we went with Miro was it was just cheaper and easier to have guest collaborators. So if we wanted to, I could have given each of you a link and you could have all come onto our board and put in your own post-it notes with no registration. It's seamless. You anonymously just come into the board and you can engage. And that cost me 10 quid a month. If you've got a free account, you can have anonymous viewers, but they can't edit the board, they can't collaborate. For 10 squid, you can have as many guest users as you want on your board, all collaborating, and we've had up to 30 people on a board. We've had people in the past finding more than 30, you get some lag, but these companies are updating all the time. Quick one from Chris. Chris, how we've done this with Microsoft Teams is we would have a plenary room like this in Microsoft Teams. We would then make meeting invites, which creates like a breakout room. So each team would have a separate link. They'd manually go into a separate Teams room, and then they could collaborate on a Miro board. Sometimes we have all 4 boards on one page, and other times we have separate breakout rooms for each team. But we do that often. There's a lot of companies that won't use Zoom, and Teams works beautifully well. The only downside is you can't drag them back and forcefully in Teams. You got to go looking for them when the teams don't come back, whereas in Zoom you click a button and it drags everybody back. Sheila, did you have anything to add in terms of any of those questions? Any thoughts?
No, I think for me, the other thing I would do as well as having, you've got your co-pilot, I would also have a couple of my audience briefed in case we don't get the thing moving as quickly as perhaps we would like. So you would have a couple of people there to kind of start that conversation going, to put the first couple of comments on, to and to be almost silent facilitators for you.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, for a few friendlies in the room that have been through the process before, that's super clear. Yeah. Good. And I think
the whole thing, I think I'm still in the mind-blowing stage. I think this is amazing. It's really impressive.
Too cool. Super cheap. So just to recap, you can set up your own free Miro board. So if you want one, we'll set you up one that you can muck about with your team under our license. If you wanted to do your own, free account gives you 3 boards. As many people as you wanted could view. So you could run this with your team on a free account with Zoom or Teams, and they could see the board and contribute, and one person could manipulate the board. I think it's 5 or 10 squid a month. You could have everybody on the board interacting as guest users. So it's a beautiful experience. One tip is we found that the best sessions happened if you onboard people with Miro beforehand. So we put a couple of videos on the Miro board for you, and Connor's made a super course that you're very welcome to use. So if you onboard everybody before your session, it just makes the session flow that much easier because you don't have anyone lost and can't work the board, those type of issues. So that's the other learning we've had, is a little bit of onboarding before the session to use the tools goes a long way. We've got time for Zena's thunder. I don't want to steal it. Now, Zena, do you want to tell us about what's coming up for the rest of the year?
No, that's great, Grant. And I think it was really useful for us all to actually have almost a practical demonstration of how that works, because you kind of hear the names of things, but unless you kind of get into it and see the functionality, sometimes you kind of maybe a little put off. So that's great. And your offer to everyone of that kind of free tutorial and board is fantastic. So thank you very much. Somebody's just asked, do you get commission from Miro? I'm assuming not.
We've missed the trick.
You
Good
need to set that up.
Yeah, note to self.
Absolutely. So no, some lovely comments that I think it, like last time, it was really fantastic. So thank you. And just for all of you, we have a whole series of these knowledge nuggets that Grant has offered to run for us. So the next one, we're switching to a Wednesday, same time, but Wednesday the 16th of September. And I guess actually what we've done today really sets us up for that, solving a tough innovation problem in 60 minutes or less. So yeah, do stick the following dates. We'll make sure we get those links out for you to register too. And just before we go, just wanted to give a quick word about the Ideas UK accreditation. And at the moment, I'm hearing a lot about companies resetting, re-engaging, ramping up, and whichever terminology your organisation is kind of using, the Ideas UK accreditation programme gives you the perfect opportunity to take stock of your innovation programme, really understand what's working well, and how could you improve to better meet the needs of the organisation moving forward. In essence, it's an audit, and we've refined the questions over a number of years and now fully mapped this to the Innovation Guideline ISO 56002. And it really can provide you with a blueprint for your programme moving forward to add even greater value to your organisation. At the end of the assessment, we also total the points and give you a score and a bronze, silver, gold or platinum accreditation. So you can really see how you compare to some of the best of the best. So if you would like more information, then do get in touch, and I'm happy to talk you through what that process looks like virtually this year. So I think you've probably all got my details, but just zena@ideasuk.com, and do follow us on Twitter. So really look forward to catching up with you again next month. Thank you for all your engagement, and thank you to Grant and the guys for being our techie experts and delivering such a fabulous session today. Much appreciated. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah, and on the hour, I couldn't have had better timing if we tried. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Thanks to our guest panel, Sheila, Emma, thanks so much for joining us. Same time next month, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Fab, Chris.
Lovely to see you guys. We'll stick around if you've got any questions or you want to chat. We'll be here for a couple of minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Sheila.
Cheers, Chris. Thanks, Helen. Thanks, Raj. Nihal, thanks so much. Nice to see you again.